What's up, guys? We're out here at Dirigo Hobbies. We're going to be doing a Battlecast this week. We're going to be doing it with TrollBloods. I'm here with Mitch Bollier. It's French. It's not spelled that way it sounds, though. Don't worry. And we're going to be talking about his TrollBloods. It's a 35-point army that he's going to be doing more than likely for the steamroller we got coming up. Yeah. Maybe a few changes to the list. Then we're just going to talk about why he plays what he does. So let's just get into it. Let's start down here with the your war beast. Who we got down here with the giant axe?
Okay, down here we got the Axer. He's a white war beast, very solid.
Wonder where he got that name. The axe. Okay. Anyways, keep going. What do we got?
Pretty much, he's got a great animus, solid beat stick by himself. His Thresher, Reach, great combo. Really solid for 6 points.
Just a good in there for a good 6 points. I mean, it's not too much, too little. You think maybe it could be a little cheaper?
For 6 points, I think he's pretty much worth it.
Right on the money on that one. All right.
Good job balancing that game.
What about him? What do we got here?
This is the Earthborn 10-point war beast. Kind of expensive, but very worth it. Great animus, great abilities, great with terrain. Is a cruise missile if you do it right.
A cruise missile, I like that. Now, before we continue on, I don't play beasts. I play machines when it comes to this game.
Yeah.
What is animus? What does it mean?
Animus or animi, whatever it is. They're pretty much buffs. Like casters have spells that can help, the units and whatnot. War beasts each have their own individual spell or buff. And they can be anything from +3 strength with the Mauler, Earth Communion with the Earthborn, or just +2 movement with the Axer.
Oh, okay. So, and you can do it to all your war beasts.
You can pretty much have as many copies out there as you can cast. Your Warcaster can even cast them. However, war beasts can only have one animus at a time.
Alright, good to know. Alright, so we got Mount Everest here. He literally went to, wherever, picked up a mountain and just stuck it on a template for this. What the heck is going on with this guy? You see all these runes on him? I mean, does he even have a face? Oh, there. No, it's a pile of rubble. But it's a face. What's going on?
This is Mold. He's
a named character. He's not just anything. Okay, he's a character war beast. So what does Mold do?
Pretty much Mulk Smash.
Mulk Smash.
That's pretty much.
We like that. We like that around here.
With the Earthborn being the cruise missile, he's the nuclear missile. He goes in and kills everything.
I'll educate you on what a nuclear missile is later.
Whatever. Big explosion.
A big explosion. So basically, nothing survives once he comes in.
No.
Okay. So I do know you played me. We played a couple days ago. And this guy, I hated this guy. This guy sucks. He just ran up and I thought, you know what, no big deal. And this stick, this gigantic tree trunk that he has going on here, knocked over my guys. Didn't beat me. He just beat over my guys and knocked them down. So what is that? What is up with that knockback? And how much do you rely on it, or is it just something that you like when you have the chance to use it?
Mold's weapon here has critical smite, so if I roll double on attack, then I can choose to slam you D6 inches. Now, I don't use it all the time I get it. Sometimes it's situational. However, it's nice to have.
Right.
Sometimes it can just knock over 2 jacks in one hit, and then you have to spend focus to get the
Right, and using focus, when you can only allocate 3 a turn to any one of my mechs, it just sucks. And yes, I know, they're not called mechs, okay? I'm an old school gamer. They're called mechs to me. I played Mech Warrior, okay? First original tabletop that I ever played, so they're mechs, okay? Yes, they're steam powered, I don't care. I know, I have to use one of my 3 focus that I get to allocate just to stand up, and then on top of that, I mean, if you had 2 of them down, that's just a waste. Like, it's really powerful. Really, you got to watch out for this guy when he comes at you. What about him?
This is the Mauler. He's... Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. What's up? What does he do? Well, besides mauling, obviously, right? He does maul. Please tell me he mauls.
He mauls, he eats everything, and throws everything. Pretty much... Great animus, +3 strength to any one of these guys is just golden.
We have a bug floating around here. I apologize. One fly wants to be on TV. Get your 2 seconds of fame. Come on. All right, whatever. So back to the Mauler.
Great animus, great abilities, great two-handed throwing. You can pick up your jack, throw it at your caster, and kill it.
Yeah, and that's just. It hasn't happened to me yet. I know it's going to, but it hasn't happened to me yet, and I'm really dreading when it does. Anything else about him that you like, dislike? You know, is there something that you would change if you could? I mean, obviously you can't make it overpowered, but is there one side that you think is a little too weak?
He's a 9-point beast, which is kind of low for my army, and I think he's solid. I don't really know what I would change about him.
Okay, all right, that's solid. Okay, we got these little things over here. I don't know if you can see them. They're tiny. They don't look like they should be in an army. What are these?
Well, these are whelps. You spend 2 points and get 5 souls, which is pretty nice. And these guys have a lot of great abilities. You don't have to start them out on the field. You can have them kind of like in reserve for any 4K player out there. And whenever one of my war beasts are damaged, I can just pop it off.
By reserve, he doesn't mean he has to start from our starting location. When they get hit, they could just like squirt out his ass or beep, and then what happens? They just sit there. I mean,
they can do a number of things. They can do everything from lower your attack roll to heal one of my beasts, manage my fury, block charge lanes.
So just very useful all around. I mean, they have 0 attack, from what I understand. Nothing. They can't do anything other than just get in the way and be a support. Okay.
Pretty much.
Anything else about them that you like, dislike, or is it just something to have? It's like, I know that in my army I have to have the priests, the choir. Do you have to, like, is it kind of a necessity?
They're a lot more useful in heavy beast lists like this. In like a more infantry heavy army, you wouldn't use them that much. But for what they do, they're really great at it. They're a great toolkit.
All right. What's up with Moses?
Well, over here we have Moses Troll. Got some great abilities for my Warcaster. Compared to other Warlock attachments, he's not the best, but I still like him. Great abilities, lowers fury, cast spells.
Solid. Just a good filler spot. Is that pretty much what he's there for?
He's good for that. You just have 2 points left in your list, nothing else to add.
Might as well just get some buffs out of it if you're going to do it. All right. Now, I got to make the statement. This is the caster. He is headless and armless. Okay? I don't know if you can see that. No arms, no head. Okay? What's up with the headless, armless monk?
Well, just to say this, headless models never miss. True story.
I can't argue with that. All right. So headless model, and he's armless. So I don't know how he's shooting, but whatever. What's up? Why is he headless and armless? First of all,
we wanted to try something new, which was try painting before assembling. Help get into these really hard to reach places, like around the arms, the back.
Okay, and there's once there's supposed to be a backpack on the back or a skull or something.
He's got this big scroll on his back.
Oh, scroll. Okay,
yeah, it covers up most of it,
and
it gets annoying.
You know, if you want your army to look really good, I mean, it's just those extra details that you pay attention to.
Yeah.
So the casters in this style of gameplay is your biggest asset. It's what happens when he dies. You lose no matter what. It doesn't matter. So what is so special about your caster? Why did you pick him? What are the pros, cons, and the abilities?
Well, this is Epic Doom Shaper, Rage of Dunia.
So he's the epic model.
Yeah, he's a step up. Well, yeah. But the reason why I chose him was when I first came to Trolls, I really like having huge war beasts that just go up the field and eat.
Right.
And Doom Shaper is the best beast caster in Trolls.
Why?
He's got all these great abilities, like Goad. If war beast kills them all, I can force it to move 2 inches, which is huge in this game.
It happened to me. It really is that good. Okay.
He's also Fury 7, which is tied to the highest controls, so I can pull a lot more Fury than I normally could.
Right.
He's also got great spell list, which is well suited to buffing all my war beasts.
Okay.
Almost exclusively.
Downsides,
he's a crusher to the old man on a hill. He's very weak defensively, very weak armor. If he gets hit, he's probably going to take a lot of damage.
Right.
If he gets multiple times, he's dead.
Defensive?
Defensively, he's, I believe, defense 13, which is very low for casters.
Right.
It's pretty bad.
Spells and abilities that may help him a little to stay alive?
Pretty much, he doesn't really have any spells to help his survivability. What he has is, with hordes as opposed to War Machine, instead of using Focus to buff armor, we use Fury to transfer damage.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have Fury on him, and I take, say, 13 damage, that's a lot for a caster to take. I could have instead spend Fury and transfer it to one of my War Beasts.
Okay, so you can it's transferable. Alright, so that being said, pros and cons of your entire army. What is the biggest benefit for running these guys?
Pros, any one of these war beasts can easily make more than double their points if used properly.
Okay.
Which is really good in this.
Right.
Cons, though,
that's the only pro?
That's a pretty big pro.
Okay, but that's the only pro? No survivability? Like, are they more survivable than another army?
I suppose other Horde's army and other
because when you look at pros list, there's a few pros normally, not just
big
one. I mean, and I know that kind of be a big pro, but I mean,
something that I'm used to in Trolls, which is mostly the only army I play.
Mm-hmm.
Trolls are very survivable. We have pretty good armor, great health boxes, and the ability to regenerate. I can force each one of these beasts.
So all of them.
Yeah.
See, that's another con. Another pro, not a con, is being able to regenerate across the board no matter what. I know my mechs can't just regenerate by themselves across the board, so it's like, that's a big con. Big pro. So, I mean, if you're used to it, but coming into this as a new player, if I knew that I could just automatically try to regenerate, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Cons.
The cons for this list is there's fewer models, so in scenario, I don't always have that guy I can send over and hold an objective, which can be a big thing. The other thing is this is a very fury heavy list.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have all my wardens maxed, which I can't pull that off. They're Gunner Frenzy, and I have to be careful where I take it.
Okay, so now is there anything else like, I mean, they're really melee intensive.
Yep.
Are they prone to getting shot?
Generally,
snipers, that kind of thing?
Generally take a few pot shots in the early game, which isn't that big a deal. These guys all have tons of health boxes. If they shoot Mold, he gets even faster, which they don't want.
Right. Just doesn't seem like something that would be beneficial to anybody. Now, you have a matchup coming out today. That's what the battle report is going to be about. And what's your opponent playing?
I'm playing Phil Badger, and he's playing his Legionless.
And how's that feel? Just the army, not playing Phil specifically, but playing that stylized army.
Well, Legion is pretty much characterized and known for the fact that they don't really listen to the rules as much as the other armies.
Right.
They have abilities like Isle of Sight, where they can ignore line of sight, Pathfinder, ignore trees, refrain, and
they're the rule breakers.
Okay. And they're pretty much characterized for just having a lot of glass cannons.
A lot of glass cannons.
And being very fast.
So that being said, what do you think about your opponent and his army?
Well,
skill-wise.
Skill-wise, Phil is definitely one of the more skilled players in the meta here. He knows his army really well. He knows other armies pretty well. And
good match?
It's going to be a good match.
You guys have played before, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Who do you give it to? Don't give me the pat. Oh, it's 50-50. If it came down to it and everything went the way you think it's going to go, who would win?
Well, not to sound like
cocky.
Yeah, but I think I'd probably win. The last time I lost to him,
I'm going to get a cocky belt buckle, and every time somebody says that they're going to win, and they do, they get to wear the cocky belt buckle until the next battle report. Do you think you can win this?
I think I can. I think it will be very close, though.
Okay.
Last time I lost to him, I made a stupid mistake. So.
How many of your models do you think? If you were to give me a betting man's number, how many models do you think you'll have standing at the end of the game?
Standing, I'll probably have most of my Warbeasts. I'm almost positive I'm going to lose either Mold or the Earthborn.
Just because they're the powerhouses?
They're who I Alpha Strike with first, but I'm probably going to lose one.
Okay. And last but not least, why do you play your army?
I play Trolls because they're very sturdy, very solid, very strong. They're hard to get off the field. We have, on my infantry, we have tough initially, so 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6, they just stand up.
Now, would this be an army you would suggest a new player playing?
I think Trolls, especially if you go with the Battlebox route, you can really just pick it up, start playing, and get familiar with it fairly quickly. It's not like a very strategy
or skill intensive,
like Crix.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. I know the screen's popped off for us. We can't see the camera, but I'm Doug. This is Mitch. Good luck today. I hope you win or lose or just make a good show of it. And I'll see you guys later. What's up, guys? I'm here with Phil Badger. We're going to go over his list before we start the Battlecast and everything. He's got a 35-point Legion army, and we're just going to start it. How's it going today?
I'm doing well.
All right, let's see. What we got going on here? This is just a whole lot of things that I don't recognize because I just got into doing this. So we're going to start down here with your, what are they?
Those are the Blightedness Swordmen.
They look like crazy samurais.
They are crazy samurais.
What's so special about them, and why do you have them in the list with you?
They really have no special rules about them, only the fact that they are something called Weapon Masters. They get an additional die to damage. So on a charge where they get a boosted attack damage roll, they get an additional die on that. So they get 4 instead of the usual 3.
Each one if they charge.
Each one if they charge, yeah.
So, and you've got 1 squad or 2 squads there?
That is 1 full squad, a 10-man unit of swordmen.
So if you were to able to, how many people can you get around a base on a charge normally?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. So that's just, they choose things up.
Yeah, they wreck warjacks. They kill infantry. They are a buzzsaw.
Really just shoot through pretty much anything, hand-to-hand wise.
Yep.
I went up against them. I was dumb enough to put a squad of snipers up on the hill, not realizing how fast that they can get up that hill. And they really did just eat through my guys. It was just disgusting. And mind you, I'm new to this, so understandably. What is this insane doggy?
That is called a rake. It is probably one of my favorite beasts in this game. It has something called stealth, which means if you shoot it from over 5 inches away, you will automatically miss.
No matter
what you have, you will automatically miss. And also, I love it because it is great at capturing objectives. It has speed 7, which in this game for a beast is insane. So it can run 14 inches turn 1 and just claim an objective. It can stay there. It's hard to hit with a defense of 15, which again on a beast with damage boxes is insane.
Downside?
Downside is the damage boxes. It has very few. I think it has 13 or 15 of them. So if you hit, you're probably going to kill it.
Probably going to kill it. All right. What's up with this guy? Well, the twins.
Those are Carnivians. Again, the reason I take both of them is they are my favorite beasts in this game. Mm-hmm. The Carnivians, they kill things. They straight out.
That's all they're there for. Meat sticks.
Yep. They are beat sticks. One of them, my caster has a spell called Draconic Blessing. Mm-hmm. It gives one of my beasts +2 strength and terror.
Okay.
And terror is something, if it gets into melee, if you're not fearless, mm-hmm. you have to pass command check or flee, but I don't care about that so much as the +2 strength, because it'll be hitting on a power strength 20 bite, which is straight dice on damage against most anything in this game.
So just ridiculous.
Just insane. It has, on a charge, it can get 8 attacks. Downside is they're easy to hit, and if you get the charge on them, they're probably going to die.
They're just going to die.
Yeah.
What do we got with these guys? They just seem to be, I don't even know what to call these guys. I mean, they're insane looking.
Those
what are
Lighted Ogren Warmongers.
Long name.
Yep.
What's up with them?
They are, again, melee beat sticks. That's really what I've built this list out to be, is just a melee just monster.
Just a monster of an army.
Yep. They are pretty easy to hit. I believe their defense 12. Their armor 18, so they're on a higher scale of heavy infantry.
Okay.
They pack a hell of a punch, and if they go up against other infantry, they will probably mow through it, because they have a special ability called Berserk. If they kill something in melee, they automatically make another attack against something else in their melee range in front of you.
So basically, if you can get in front of an entire squad, button to button, basically, you kill one, you can reach over and hit another one?
Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. They actually have reach,
okay.
Which means they have a 2-inch melee range, as opposed to the swordmen or the Carnivians. They have a half-inch melee range. So that extra 2 inches with Berserk is
stupid.
It's
just silly as hell.
Yep.
Downside,
again, they're easy to hit, and if a heavy takes them on, it's probably going to kill them.
Okay. Now, before we get to his caster, with your army, how good are they individually? Like going up against squads, do you have to pick and choose what you send them at? A lot? Like, do you have to really be cautious of the backswing of,
Not really. The rake I have to use a little more strategically, but the Carnivians, if I send them out, I probably expect to get them back, because if they charge, they are more than likely going to kill whatever they hit. And the same with the swordmen. I take them because I like them because They're a meat shield unit that'll probably get the charge and kill whatever they charge.
So your army likes to have the charge. You want to get the first charge. The initial charge, if you get the initial charge, you're good.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I mostly take these guys because they have exactly the same stat line as my caster.
Oh, okay.
So they are a great retinue to him. So they complement him in a lot of ways. They'll protect him, and if anything gets too close, I send them out, and they do the job.
So they kind of stay together.
Exactly.
All right. Let's go with your caster, who looks like the guy from Star Wars Episode 1. What's up with Darth Maul here?
That is Thagrosh, the Prophet of Everblight. He is
really good, really well done, by the way, people. I mean, just absolutely well painted, great standing. What's with him?
He, again, like I said before, he is a melee beatstick. He's insane. I can cast Draconic Blessing on himself and send him out with an 11-inch charge range to possibly end the game by killing a caster with Power Strength 18 sword attacks.
All right, what are his abilities? What does he have?
His spell list is composed of 5 spells.
Mm-hmm.
He has a few that buff and protect his battle group and his units, and he has a couple that buff the beasts,
right?
And he has a couple that are fairly offensive.
So is he more, as the caster line goes, does he support more, or is he more himself? How's he played?
He is the mid-range.
Okay, so he can do a little of both, but he doesn't specialize in one or the other.
Exactly. Like, a spell that I usually cast first turn every game is called Fog of War. And it costs 3 out of the 7 fury that he has.
Right.
It gives all models, enemy and friendly, in his control area, concealment, which may not sound like it's that big a deal, but it's +2 defense against ranged attacks.
Right.
On the swordmen, that is utterly ridiculous because
snipers can't even hit him.
Snipers can't hit him. Ranged attacks will probably miss because they'll be defense 16.
Is that an upkeep?
That is an upkeep.
Okay.
Yes. So an upkeep spell, for those out there who don't know, is something that you can cast, and for every turn after that, you spend 1 fury or focus as opposed to recasting the spell, which is
it's really good.
Yeah, it's
now. Do they still have to be within his command arc to get the upkeep of it to keep it going?
To be in the range of the spell, they have to be within 14 inches of him.
Okay, so he has a 14. So on the high end of where it becomes like Harbinger being the top end, controlling like support, just has 10 for focus.
Yeah.
And the bottom end being just a solo caster by himself, doesn't really care about his team. Where would you place him?
Like I said, I'd put him in the middle because he has
straight up mid
to low.
Mid to low?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is a very aggressive caster, but like I said, he has 2 spells that buff the stuff that he controls, and
very
2
well.
that very well, and 2 that just can end units, end a solo. So
now the end all be all feat.
Yes.
What is his feat and why?
His feat.
Did you pick that guy to have that feat?
Really, when I started this game, I picked this faction because they looked dragony and awesome. They had the spikes. It was appealing.
So you picked it for appeal?
Yeah, I picked it for the aesthetics.
Right. Okay.
But the caster, he slowly became my favorite out of all the casters. I will take him in mostly every game just because I love him, I know him. His feat brings back one of his war beasts from the dead.
Stand him up.
Carnivian dies. Take him off the table. Activate my caster. Pop my feet. Put him back full health.
Where at?
Within 3 inches of him. Not completely within, but within 3 inches. It sacrifices its action, but it can still move, still be forced. And next turn, it's ready to go again.
So basically, you lose one, you bring him back. It doesn't. I mean, it's a twofer.
Exactly.
So, I mean, yes, it is a feat, but it's really good. I don't know of another one that's like it.
It's very good, and it's one of my favorite in the game. So essentially, I'm bringing 4 war beasts to this fight.
Okay. Overall,
pro melee monsters.
Just absolute good.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, pro?
No, that's
just meat.
Yep.
Just meat.
Yep.
Con,
they're a glass cannon.
Okay. Ignores pretty much all the rules of the game.
Exactly.
And just...
Exactly.
Okay. So, beat stick, very good at melee, but on the downside, very squishy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, today, you are going to be playing against what army?
I will be playing against TrollBloods.
How do you feel about that matchup? Not about the player, about the matchup of the army.
The matchup, I know the list he's bringing. I've played it before. It is...
Don't worry, he talked mad shit about you before.
It's a toss-up.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that really scares me about his army would be his caster spell list, but that's what his caster does.
Okay.
As long as I play well, I think I can take him down.
Now the player. How do you feel about his skill and level?
He's a very good player. He knows the rules. He knows his army. But like I said, it'll be a toss-up.
Whoever gets it off first?
Yep, we're two very good players. We've played each other many, many times.
Now, have you guys chosen what you're doing? Are you going to do just a caster kill, or are you going to do a...
We've chose the mission Incursion.
Incursion. Why did you pick that?
Well, it's one of my personal favorites. I'm not sure his feelings on it. He just kind of said...
we didn't even actually ask him.
Yeah, well, I talked to him a little bit last night. He just said, sure, let's do Incursion.
Okay.
I like it. It's essentially capture the flag.
Okay, the capture the flag. So the matchup, you feel it's just going to go to who can get it first, basically.
Yes.
Who can get the upper hand?
Yep. Who can get the upper hand?
Who has the better hand at the dice?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Like any tabletop game, it's all about the dice.
How many loaded dice did you bring today?
Counting in all 8.
Out 8?
I brought 2 full sets of loaded dice.
Sounds like we got a winner on this side of the table.
I lacquered the ones on all of them, so
it worked.
They'll roll 6s.
It works.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, so you guys, what's going on here? Who won the dice roll?
I did.
And you guys have gotten set up, and who's taking the first play?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you...
So what I did was I pretty much deployed one of these more towards the right side.
The right side towards the trees and stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
And right here, moving up the stone barrier to...
We like to call him Moses.
Pretty much Moses. I used him to lower the cost of my spells, and I'm actually doing paper right now. Putting buffs out, and then charging forward. So, right here, putting Wild Aggression on the Earthborn, putting Refuge on Mold, and just generally setting out buffs.
Why did you move him so far forward at first? Like, are you trying to set him up to hide somewhere, or?
I just want to make sure he's like far enough up the field that I don't have to move him too much, not too far forward that he gets killed instantly, but enough that I can force my beast pretty much.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and do you normally move him forward first, or is it just a choice because of what's going on right here?
Generally, I like to move my casters first. I activate them, put out their buffs, and then have them in the front line so that they can move and not worry about bumping into other units.
Oh, okay. How much Badger is what he's doing right now, like changing your idea of what you should do on your first play? Like, how much of what his buffs and stuff that he's putting out is going to affect you?
Well, I'm just watching what he's doing, just thinking about what I'm going to do in reaction, but what I'm really doing is watching for what he's going to do with his beast, because that will determine in all who wins the game. Because in a game where he has so many beasts, he's a very beast-heavy list, I need to know where he's going to put them, what he's going to put on them, what they're going to do the next turn, because the next turn is when stuff's going to kick off, like combat and damage, all that. So I want to be able to charge first and do as much damage as humanly possible to limit what he has left in his army. So I really want forward domination, so I chose to set up second and go second to really react to what he did to his team.
You're more reaction than action on this one.
Yes, in this game I prefer to go second so I can react to whatever they do and capitalize on any mistakes they make.
Right, and since you want the charge, normally you want to be able to just assign him outside of his charge range, but you can still close the gap when you need it.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, at this time, you guys are playing a scenario. As we can see, we still have all 3 scenario points. are any of you guys looking specifically to go for one or the other to sit on it? Or, what were you doing?
Well, in this scenario, it's SR-2012 Incursion.
Right.
This list that I have right here isn't the best at holding objectives, but I'm trying to just go towards the middle because it doesn't really matter which one disappears at that point.
Right.
I can just
you're easily evenly distanced, and if middle stays, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bit more onto the right side, so it could have hurt me if that one had gone away, or if the middle one had gone away.
Right.
But
with your units being spread out, like your army being spread out so far, at this point, it's going to matter if it disappears. I think you passed your turn by now?
Yep.
I've
started
my turn at this point.
So what were you thinking after seeing his movements? Like, I see you're just moving around and assigning...
Yep, I'm assigning tokens. I'm casting spells with my caster, who I've activated first.
And obviously Fog of War was the first thing you just...
Right, I put up Fog of War, I cast Draconic Blessing on the Carnivian, and just like Mitch, I like to activate my caster first, put on all upkeep spells, and then move them up so I can surround him with everything else.
Okay.
So...
Who's that, the first guy you moved forward?
That was my caster.
Why did you pull him forward so fast?
Why? Because I do roughly the same thing every game with that caster. I activate him first, and then I declare a charge, so I get extra movement. And I just wanted to get him up there because he is a melee caster as well as a support caster. So,
and you just literally put your rake right on top of that control point, even though you went through terrain.
Yep. All of my war beasts have something called Pathfinder. So they move through rough terrain without taking any penalties to their movement.
Now, did you guys call it tree terrain rough terrain, not wooded?
Rough terrain.
It's
okay. The same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
There's a few extra rules, but it doesn't really matter that much in this.
In that scenario. It looks like you can close the distance between points faster than he did. Like, you just moved another squad of your...
those are the swordmen.
The swordmen. I mean, you're basically on top of 2 points already.
Yes. Cool. Like, my faction, we're mid-range monsters. We're very fast, so we can close the distance very quickly. We can capture objectives very fast. And as you see, I have a lot more models than him, so I can spread up the entire field first turn.
You can block the field. Now, Mitch, did you move your units the full amount, or did you hold them back some?
Well, in this scenario right here, it depends on who deploys first. If you deploy first, you only have a 7-inch deployment zone. It's supposed to be 10 for second player, so that's one thing.
Oh, he got an extra 3 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another thing.
And I also didn't move the full. I wanted to stay back, stay in a bit of a brick formation, see where he goes, and then go from there.
Okay. Especially since with him being heavily modified melee, you don't want him to get that easy charge off the go, basically.
Normally I go for the Alpha Strike, but in this one, I wasn't really sure where to go. He has Swordsman, which do a lot of damage with a Weapon Master. You get 2 Carnivians on one side, and then the Ogre in the middle.
Right. Now, Badger, you put your Carnivians one way up by the house, and the other one towards the middle. Now, they work really well solo?
They can do either. If you get 2 Carnivians on one solid beast, that beast is just going to get blown off the table. But by themselves, they're still very good. I put that one Carnivian all the way over next to the house to be out of charge range of his Mauler and still contest the objective. I moved that Carnivian up the middle to be next to my caster, so he would be under the benefits of everything my caster was doing. So I wasn't really afraid of losing either Carnivian.
So right now you've taken your second turn.
Yeah.
So now it's been a full rotation of 1 turn. Now do points disappear now?
We're about to.
Yeah. We screwed up a little bit, as in we forgot to get rid of 1 objective at the end of the first player's second turn. But coming up here in a second, we'll realize it.
You realize it?
Yeah,
we forgot.
Nothing moved yet. So
nothing moved, so that one went away, which was kind of not beneficial to me.
Because you sat on it instantly.
I sat on it instantly.
And now it's gone, so now your rake is way out of the way.
Exactly, but...
And he hadn't chose one yet, so it kind of left it like, oh god, now I'm kind of a little spread out, but the rake can move 14 inches.
Exactly, it can move 14 inches, and I had 2 Carnivians sitting, contesting both other objectives, so at that point, I wasn't afraid. It was a minor inconvenience.
Now, here's a problem that you're going to have, is if you move forward too much, he's going to be able to charge you.
Well, the thing with this list here with Doomshaper is, I can make my beast go pretty far. Like right here, I'm measuring out my control range to see if I can do something crazy, which in the end wasn't a good idea, but
we'll get to that point here in a second.
It's kind of funny. But with this list, I can sling the ball like 13 inches across the table.
Yeah,
I can really get the alpha strike off of this list.
You can make up for the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's looking like you're discussing something, trying to figure out ranges, or.
I think at that point I was asking him questions about what his list could do. I was asking him about his caster spells, some of the anima that he was casting, all things that would determine what I would do during my next turn.
Now, you're allowed to ask what the anima can do?
Yes, you can ask questions, you can ask to see their cards, and these are all different things that help you be on a more level playing field.
Right, because if you specifically, Mitch, know all that his entire army, and he only knows a few things of yours, it really outweighs the playing field, basically. You know which of his units are weak to your units, and he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what is your game state after seeing that one spawn location go away? What is your thinking at this point? Like, how are you going to contest? I mean, he's got the bulk of his entire army sitting on that midpoint, pretty much, within movement range.
Pretty much.
And he's got one ton of even, keeping house up north. So,
yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what is your thought?
Well, I saw that the thing disappeared from the rake, and I was really happy about that. I did see the Carnegie on the far side, and I knew I had to deal with it. But what really caught my eye was the fact that Thagrosh had this clear, just lane right up to him. So there's Swordman on one side, Carnegie on the other, and Ogren around him. But there was still a clear shot.
Clear shot straight ahead. So you think?
So I think this is the turn if I'm going to do the Alpha Strike. I'm both.
Turn 2 end it, just
That's
done.
normally when I do it.
Yeah.
And I was going to try and go for it. I knew I wouldn't be able to kill him, but I could hold up a lot of his army, even if I didn't successfully kill him. So here I'm putting a bunch of buffs on the Earthborn. He's on rough terrain right now. I give him the Active Animus. He goes up to and then I use my feet.
And your feet does?
+3 speed and can run, charge, trample for free. So in the end, with the trample, which is what I'm doing right here, I get the Earthborn to move 15 inches with Pathfinder.
So you just literally water walk and come flying out.
I can flying out right into the middle of his formation.
Now, do you connect with trample or knockover or anything with any of these guys, or did you just hit his caster?
I do hit one of the swordsmen when trample because he was in the way, so I couldn't charge anything. I probably could have charged the Carnivian thinking about now, but
would you have? If you could take it back, would you have?
I probably would have definitely charged the Carnivian in this situation.
Because you could probably wreck face with him.
Yeah, I would have kept both my initial attacks, which really kind of hurt me. I also, when Thagrosh's power drains, I lost 2 strength. And right now I've attacked the swordsman. But my plan was to kill that guy, kill another guy, go up the field, and get into his casting space.
Okay, so now you're trying to take out the swordsman, or did you just take out the swordsman?
I took out one of the swordsmen, punching another one right now, just to get the extra move.
And you got him?
Yep.
Alright.
And I also have Wild Aggression on him, so I can give boosted attack rolls.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure I hit.
Alright. So now, did you take, how many pop shots were you able to take at Badger's caster?
Unfortunately, going into it, I didn't kill the Ogre who I needed to in order to go it up further.
He ran into the 1 hit point infantry, and he wiped them off the board pretty handily. But then he ran into the Ogren, where he couldn't get to my caster because the Ogren, they have 8 hit points apiece and fairly high armor, so it was very tough for him to kill one of them and go up the field. And like I said before, we've played many times, so I know how his list works.
When you saw him making that clear, obvious, I'm boosting his movement, I'm boosting this, did you see it coming, like you saw what he was about to do?
I did. I didn't know that he would put it way out there like that. So, like I said before,
catch you off guard just a little?
It caught me off guard a little bit, but I wasn't afraid because I knew my caster was far enough back where he wasn't going to be able to hit him.
Now, if in this scenario, any scenario, if the caster dies, the game's over no matter what.
Yeah, in this game, period, if your caster dies, you lose the game.
So knowing that your caster's fine, you're like, okay, retaliation.
Yeah, then I start thinking about my retaliatory moves. I think about what the Carnivians are going to do. I think about what the Swordmen are going to do. I think about what the Carnivian on the other side of the field is going to do. So it's all going around in my head right now, what I'm going to do.
Now that Mitch, you can't get through,
yeah.
Now what are you doing? Now are you oh shit in moment? Are you?
I had completely forgot about the -2 strength, so even with the Earthborn's abilities, I still only think 15 on high armor, multi-wound infantry.
Right.
So I kind of get confused here, trying to think what can I do with the remaining fury, and I just decided to back up and hold the objective. What I should have done was moved a bit more over and engaged the Carnivians. Because right now, I believe I'm going on to my other beasts. I'm pretty sure the Earthborn's going to die. So I'm just going to try and damage control as best I can here.
Right, so you're basically, okay, I lost this unit. I didn't pay attention to what was going on, and I didn't notice the buffs.
Yeah.
So it was just basically foobarred.
Yeah, it was pretty heavily foobarred. Pretty much I'm just trying to use them as a roadblock as best I can. I know I can spawn whelps off them, block charge lanes, lower their attacks, and maybe survive.
Okay,
very
so
hard.
Why did you just move Rockman?
I just moved Mold up to actually hold the objective and get the points, possibly.
Okay.
I know that when he hits the Earthborn, I can spawn a whelp and put it right between Mulg and the Carnivian, slow him down.
Okay.
Thinking about it now, again, I should have charged him forward and killed the Carnivian.
Right. So 2 times that you had the opportunity to charge and kill a Carnivian. Me being novice and everything, even I would go, why not? The worst he's going to do is pop his ult automatically and let him stand back up.
Yeah.
Now, have you done this in the past where you've ignored the Carnivians?
Normally, I'm a lot more aggressive, but after pretty much failing spectacularly with the Earthborn, I tried to play as conservatively as I could, which
was probably
pretty much cost me
another
the game.
Yeah, another downside is the moment you start being conservative, you're more on the back foot. He's got all the dominance at that point.
In this game, it's very bad to second guess yourself in what you do. You need to have a clear strategy. You need to stick to it, and when stuff starts to go south, you need to recover as best you can.
Yeah, which does happen a little bit along the way. Not in a great way, but funny.
All right, so now we're on to your turn, Badger. What's going on? The moment you saw his movements, what did you decide you were going to do? What did you activate first on this turn? I can't even tell. I think you got your...
I believe I activated the Warmongers first.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But I think we just passed my upkeep, which you just saw me move around some tokens. I upkept a couple spells.
You obviously upkept...
I upkept Draconic Blessing and Fog of War.
We know what Fog of War does. What's Draconic Blessing?
Draconic Blessing is +2 strength.
And I have everything.
Yeah, no, on the Carnivian.
On the Carnivian itself?
Yep, the Carnivian that is next to the Earthborn, that is the one with +2 strength.
All right.
So at this point, I see Mulg. I know he's a big threat. And, like I said, I activated the Warmongers first. And I moved them in to close the gap between the Earthborn and my caster.
So that no charging, no nothing.
No charging, no nothing, no trampling. And I know they're not going to do that much damage to the Earthborn. And now, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about what the Carnivian's going to do.
Up north.
No, not that one. The one next to the Earthborn.
Next to the Earthborn?
Yep. Do I want to turn it and try and kill the Earthborn? Or do I want to move it around? Or do I want to move it up to Mulg and wipe Mulg off the board?
Now, is he in combat with
the Earthborn? No, he is not.
Okay.
He's about an inch away.
Yeah. So you weren't able to put him in combat.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I like to capitalize on the mistakes that my opponents make,
which is good in any gaming industry. The moment you can capitalize on a mistake, you win.
The glass cannon-esque style of my army lends to being very reactionary. So, as you can see now, I've started to make my attacks with the Warmongers on the Earthborn.
And they're getting 2 attacks? No charge, right?
No charge is nothing, but they're each doing 1 attack apiece from the Earthborn.
And doing a pretty good amount of damage.
They did a good amount of damage.
And you just spawned a whelp, right?
Yep, he just spawned a whelp.
This is the second whelp.
It might be the second whelp. I think he put the first whelp on the other side of the Earthborn to block a charge lane from the Carnivian to Mulg.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yep. So as soon as he dropped the whelp between the Carnivian and the Earthborn,
you just turned basically at that point.
No, actually, my Carnivians are speed 6, which in this game for beasts is very high, and they also have Pathfinder. So I think, all right, he knows that he just blocked the charge lane. So I figured I'm just going to walk around with speed 6 and get to Mulg. I don't need to charge. I can just make my melee attacks all the way.
Okay, so you're just gonna use the melee. I mean, the charge would have been nice, but you just
I just
forget
figured
it.
I just
You
figured
just
I can walk around.
Okay,
It's not a big deal.
I mean, that's obviously you want to stop the mold because if mold were to get in on you,
Yeah, he would kill a Carnivian. Once he gets in, he's very tough to deal with because there's a lot of shenanigans that you can do with Moog.
You go all snacking, regen.
Yeah. Trolls have an ability called snacking. When they box a model, they can choose to essentially eat it and heal D3 damage, which kind of ruins my feat because it removes the model from the
D3
game.
half?
No,
so D6 half?
D6 half.
Okay, so D6 half. A lot of people out there would be like, a D3?
Right.
What's a D3?
Yeah.
So, alright, so now you just moved the North Carnivian.
Yep. I'm moving.
What is that you have up there, Mitch?
That's the Mauler.
Now, why'd you move the Mauler to a Carnivian? Can they go one-on-one?
Yes, but what I did here was I moved him so that he's close enough to contest, but not close enough that if he charged it, then he could also control the objective.
Right. So you just rolled for spray, and you missed?
Yep, I missed both sprays because the Carnivian, while it's a perk to the charge, it's not essential because the Carnivian is only has a rat of 4, so he's never really going to hit with the spray. It's just a nice little bonus to try and hit more models. And now I've moved on to my melee attacks. And here, well, it's coming up in a second, but I made a slight play mistake. I left the Carnivian outside of Bagrosh's control area, so I wasn't able to buy attacks after the fact, which, while it screwed me up a little bit...
Now, to be honest, how do you know he's outside of his...
Because you can measure your control area anytime.
Right. But now, can your opponent request a measurement?
They can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, they can, but they don't have to. So, can you cheaty face it?
Well, no.
Does it happen, and how do you, as a player...
It can happen, but that's...
Yeah. You can, just in case, because this one is very close. I was pretty sure he's out when he moved him there, but...
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to... It was a last-minute call to move the Carnivian to where he is, just so I could spray the Mauler and...
Now, why are you crawling under the table? Are you giving Mitch a handy for the game, or...?
You'd think so, yes.
Yeah.
But, no, I dropped a dice on the floor.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a handy. But we'll talk about that later.
It's okay. Family friendly.
It's a handy. So, now, if you look up, and I am pointing at the screen, people, it is funny as hell. Now, with it being out of your control area, what's going to happen?
Well, his activation is going to end.
And
you can no longer force.
You can no longer force.
No poking.
No poking. They can only do their base action. So, at this point, I start thinking again, I need to regroup. What am I going to do? So, it's not a big deal. I know the Carnivian's probably going to survive. But, it was a toss-up. I didn't know.
You messed up.
I messed up.
Okay.
But
you
if you had been
recovered.
Yeah, I recovered. I figured now I'm going to move on, make myself feel a little better. I'm going to move the Carnivian into Mulg and try and hack him to pieces.
Yeah, at this point I knew Mulg was probably going to die. If he didn't kill him with Carnivian, he could easily send in a few swordsmen.
Yeah.
And just finish it up.
Yeah. Swordsmen are like the janitors of the situation. They can move in after the fact and kill most anything.
Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling at this moment, Mitch?
What's
going through your head?
Pretty well screwed at this point. I've lost the game. I've made 2 very big errors, and
muffed it.
I would have lost them all as well if he'd moved him over a bit. So I know I'm pretty much done at this point. But
overextension killed you.
Yep. This turn,
not really the overextension. It's more of just moving into bad places and making bad decisions.
Essentially, this turn, I could have wiped 3 beasts off the board. Easily, but I made a play mistake.
And not pay attention to where the placement was for both sides now. Both sides not paying attention. Mitch, you didn't see, all the buffs and everything and the positioning of his characters, and Badger, you not making sure to stay in your own control arc has cost you an easy kills.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, his mistake is not nearly as big as mine. He can easily recover from that.
I made a minor play mistake, but leaving Mold and Earthborn out there are just two major mistakes that's really hard to recover from.
Kind of at this point, I was hoping that the Whelps would stop the Carnivian from killing just by lowering their attack roll, maybe giving a few health. And yeah. Something we don't get though. Why are we always putting up Fog of War?
Why? It's a comfort thing. When the caster's as far back like that, I just like to have the solidarity that I know I'm not going to get caught from downtown with some sort of silly ranged attacks. Well, I know
that was my whole thing. His army doesn't have a whole lot of range.
Exactly.
How many do you have?
I got like one spell.
Yeah.
And is it even powerful enough to do anything really?
Not really.
Not
It's-
really. But like I said, it's a
nice.
comfort thing. I do it every game, and there comes a point where I'm just like, okay, screw it. I'm not going to upkeep it anymore. I know I'm safe. So it's just a comfort thing until I know I have the game pretty well won.
Okay. Well, the big thing is it helps even my guys. It's just every model in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
it is every model.
It is every model. It's enemy and friendly, but really the only ranged attacks I use are the sprays from the Carnivian,
Which ignore.
which ignore concealment.
Okay, so it's not really that big
Well,
of a deal.
Exactly. And I use Obliteration, which is an offensive spell for my caster. And if I know I'm going to use Obliteration, I will let Fog of War drop for at least a turn. So I know I'm going to hit because it's a range 10, power 15, AoE 4 blast. So it's a very strong spell. So usually I'll save the Fury to boost a hit and boost damage rather than upkeeping Fog of War.
All right, so we need to get back to some of this. I see that there's still live models, but all of a sudden we have no more Rock Guy.
Yep. He got Carnivian.
He got Carnivian,
Yep.
so it just went squat.
Yep, at this point, the Carnivian killed Mold with 1 Fury left to spend. So that was good for me. I didn't have to overextend on Fury. And now I move my caster back away from the Earthborn.
Just in case he picked something up.
Just in case. It was just a precautionary measure. I wasn't too afraid, but...
Now, what are you doing with your swordmen to the downside down there by your raid? Like, it doesn't look like you're really even caring at this point about them. Like, there's no real need.
Yep, right now I'm thinking what I'm going to do Fury-wise with my caster because it's still his activation. I don't know. I think I'm figuring out how much Fury I have on the board and how much Fury I have on my caster and what I need to spend.
I mean, you're really putting in some thought about that. I mean,
Yeah.
you're definitely not just moving willy-nilly.
Right.
You're basically, you're not throwing your Earthborn into the middle of a bunch of mobs that...
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Mitch. But, I mean, what
Never
good
regret
is...
Earthborn.
Yeah. What's the point of the rake now, though? Like, really...
Well, the rake, I wasn't sure. That's really the thing I brought the rake for, was to capture the objective.
And since that kind of fell...
But now he's just more of a Fury battery than anything.
Okay.
And I think I just elected to cast Draconic Blessing on the Swordmen all along, which is what I was going to do anyway, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have excess Fury out there and I didn't need to dump a Fury off my caster.
Okay. What up?
For no reason.
The rake couldn't do anything to his caster?
Yeah, I was half expecting an assassination run.
That's what I was thinking,
He
too.
could have, but I didn't want to put my rake out there.
Why?
Because
You're more dominant at this point.
I'm board dominant, yes, but I didn't want to make any more play mistakes like I did with the Carnivian. I didn't want to put him out there. Like, I knew I could make it there, but his caster had Fury left on it.
I mean, you could have made it there, grabbed them, and yanked them off the board and kept running. I mean, like...
Right, but his caster had excess Fury on him, so I knew if I went up there with the rake, the attacks I would have been able to make, he probably would have shunted off the damage to something else in his army. So it would have been a waste of an activation.
It could have also put him on the back pedal, though.
It could have put him on the
thinking
back
that
pedal.
You could have chased him far. You could have chased him.
I could have, but looking back on it now, I don't regret the decision not to do that with the rake.
I mean, it's understandable not doing it, and it's definitely not a regret. Just what you just did. You think about it for half a second, and then throw it to the side.
I did. I thought about, because with the rake, I have Bounding Leap, so I could make it anywhere I could probably kill. I wasn't really sure what I would have done with the rake, because I knew I could get him there, but what I was going to do when I got him there, I just wasn't sure.
Wasn't sure.
So,
okay. So he
that-
just is a Fury battery at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But while he can make the assassination run, it's not. I don't really use it in fights against other Hordes players.
Now, Mitch, seeing that he's not making the assassination run, do you care?
Well, he hasn't really finished his turn up yet, and he hasn't activated the rake, so he probably could at this point. I do have Fury left on, like Bill said, just in case. Right now, his swordmen are finishing up the Earthborn,
Yeah.
There's.
I really don't like watching assassinations, and this is just a mauling.
Yeah, this is pretty much. This is
How many attacks did you end up getting off on that guy?
I ended up getting 5 attacks off with the swordman.
On a charge?
Nope, it wasn't a charge.
Wasn't a charge? Okay.
Nope, because a charge has to be a straight line, and they have to be
in the front arc,
which I couldn't really do. But I was really more focused on getting the backstrike bonus because he had a spell up, which gave the Earthborn +2 defense when it was in water.
Okay.
So I needed to get the backstrike to lower his defense back down to a reasonable level. So I just wanted to do damage to the Earthborn at this point, just to weaken him up, so I could finish it off next turn.
But you end up wrecking it.
I think there only has 3 guys and you killed it.
No, I don't think I killed it this turn.
No, you did.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see in a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you run straight dice, 2 O's. What do you have to hit on this?
I need a
5?
6 to hit.
6 to hit. 6 to hit.
Yep.
All right. So you're doing a 6 to hit, and how many of ended up attacking? Like how many swordsmen got in there?
I ended up getting 5 attacks. I think I missed.
It was only 3.
No, it was 5.
No, it was just the extra guys.
Nope, I made 4 attacks on it with the swordman, and then I made an attack on the whelp.
Oh yeah.
So I had 5 attacks total, but only 4 were on the Earthborn.
Yeah. And that one you're checking for reach?
Yep. I was checking for reach.
Was that the third guy?
So I think I rolled the hit with every swordman before I moved on to the damage portion.
So you had like 3 hits? 4 hits?
Yep, it was something like 4 hits. I missed one.
And you switched to whelp too? I think he exploded.
Yeah, I might have switched to whelp, but I think I missed.
Yeah, I think this is where you pick up the big blue gargantuan and...
Yeah.
Yep, there he is. Oh,
yep, and
he's done.
And there it goes.
Did you roll the save or anything? Like, did you roll the...
I don't think the troll beasts have tough.
No, they don't.
They don't?
They have regen and snacking, but not tough.
Okay.
That'd be...
So you pull some fury. I can see you doing the slow yank of...
Dead. Oh, I'm an Earthborn.
And now you give a slight nod to the gods and hope to God you can pull something out, right?
I know there's no way I'm going to win this.
At this point, it's this game.
Yeah.
But you still got to play it out.
Yeah, I started just play it out because might as well.
Yeah.
And I do some funny things later on.
And there goes the squishy of the whelp.
Yep.
You check? You really checked? Did you just check to see if he could survive?
I knew he couldn't survive. Defense 12, armor 11.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that one.
Yep, he wins.
Yep, he definitely...
Yep, so I'm sitting pretty well.
No, you're not sitting pretty well. You're sitting game.
Yeah, it's board domination.
Yeah, at this point, it's just a wipe.
So at this point, with the rake, I moved him back, I think, is what I end up doing.
No, you moved him to the side. I was standing here when you did it. You moved him straight across.
Yeah, I just moved him there.
Yeah.
I think you almost forgot about him.
Yeah, I think you did, too.
I think I did, because it wasn't really...
You're like, oh, wait, I have this one unit that can kill your general, and you just decide...
I went over the possibility of going for an assassination run, but I wrote it off at the beginning of the turn, so I just kind of forgot about the raid.
And at the same time, at this point, there's no need.
Yeah.
He's got one beast up. He's got
2 beasts.
He's got 2 beasts up,
but I'm only really afraid of the Mauler, and I know I'm going to lose the Carnivian at that point because he can bump the strength up ridiculously high.
Now, what are you measuring here? Aren't those your whelps?
Yeah, I can still move them. They still act.
He wanted to run a whelp over to the
You
Mauler.
ended up running one up.
Yeah.
You wanted to get another one so you can munch?
Yeah, but he ended up being in the melee arc of one of the Warmongers.
So I just run.
Because they have a reach?
Yes, because they have reach.
So you just decided to
throw him in there and jam up the unit a little bit.
Okay.
Even though he doesn't have an attack.
So now you're going for the attack. You're activating your...
I'm activating the Moses Troll right now.
The Moses Troll?
Just trying to get some spells out. Moving him over.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I end him up there. Then right now I'm hoping to heal up the Mauler
somewhat, just to...
with the whelps, and then kill the Carnivian.
Kill the Carnivian just to get some points, just to feel like you did...
just to feel like I did something.
Even though he hasn't popped his ult, and he can just stand it back up.
I don't think he even uses...
I never used my feet in the game.
Yeah.
I wiped everything off the board before I needed to use it.
Yeah. It was definitely a good one. I mean, it was a good match. I mean, obviously we're down to the wind down. It's just going to be a cleanup at this point.
Yeah,
the game really peaked at the destruction of Mold.
The moment Mold went down,
I knew the Earthborn was going to die. I knew Mold
the game started on the downslope at that point.
I was hoping it would slip a little bit.
Well, at this point, you have no options. But like a good sport, you don't concede. You make sure he pulls it down. You're not worried about points at this point?
No. I think I only earned one control point during the game, and I wasn't really. I knew with what he had left, he couldn't really control any point for any one turn.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really afraid of that. I knew it was going to come down to caster kill.
Right.
And
now, is there a chance that he could have gotten caster on caster kill?
No.
No, because what is Doomshaper's Matt? Was it 5?
He's not a combat caster.
Yeah, Doomshaper is not a combat caster, and my caster will end Warbeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just basically...
They're also opposite sides of the board.
Yeah. It's a medium-based caster versus a medium-based caster, but the melee prowess of both of them are on different levels.
Yeah, just completely opposite. So, all right, going into this, now that we've got about 20 minutes left in this recording, let's see what would you have done different? Like, besides the obvious throwing your big blue in there.
Well, that's pretty much the big thing that lost me the game. Other things I could have done, I could have charged with Mulg that turn, probably killed the Carnivian. If I had done it differently with designing buffs, then I probably could have also sent Mulg up there, easily gotten up there, killed Carnivian, and then probably taking the charge from the other Carnivian.
So basically the downfall started when you were like, oh, let's see if I can kill the caster.
Yeah, I kind of went for a crazy shenanigans in it. Was not a good idea. But hey, you live and learn.
You live and learn. So, beyond that, did you like your army list? Did you like it for what you were trying to do?
I really like this army list. It's pretty solid. In this scenario, it's not as great. It's better than like Mosh Pit, where you're going to the center, and they're going to the center, and you don't have to split up your army.
Right. Now, that being said, I know we asked both of you before, how do you feel? Now, seeing the scenario you picked and everything, if we were to do this again, and it was random D6 roll for a scenario, is it really scenario dependent? Like, I mean, to be honest, like, some armies seem to do better if you brick them, some armies seem to do better if you split them. So, what?
Well, I know personally the army list I prefer to play, I will take it in any game. I'll take it on any opponent. Just because I think it's a well-rounded list. It can control objectives, it can do straight kill points, it can go toe-to-toe with most anyone. So I wasn't really afraid of the objective because I knew I had the board control to take the objectives. And
because of this sheer
mass and size of my army.
Right.
So I wasn't really afraid.
What about you, Mitch? What would you, if you could do it, what map would be best to play against his army with yours? Mosh Pit?
Yeah, definitely Mosh Pit. But for like an all-comers, if we didn't know the objective beforehand, didn't know whatever, I probably would have gone with a different list. But no.
Oh well,
I do like this list. It can be effective in this, but more by just killing his stuff and killing his caster.
Now, if you were to do this again, would you say screw the points and just try to maul over his army?
Well, it's kind of what I tried to do in the beginning and failed horribly, but I probably...
But, I mean, screw going for the caster. Would you just try to take out the majority of his army?
Yeah, I would probably send Mulg at the Swordsman, Earthborn at the Carnivians, and just gone from there.
Just gone from there, try to chew up everything.
Yeah.
And, damn the cannons, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's understandable. Now, you guys are going to be playing in the Steamroller tournament, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you take the same exact list of the Steamroller for both of you, or would there be some changes?
Well, one big thing about Steamroller is you can have multiple lists, and we're doing a two-list format, so I probably would definitely take this, and then probably take a more infantry-heavy list for objectives.
Okay.
But
this list and one other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd still take this list.
What would be your 7-point backup?
For this list?
For this list.
I'd probably just take a unit of my Long Riders, great cavalry unit, very strong.
Very fast.
Very fast for trolls.
Okay.
Good objective holders.
And how about you?
Yes, I would probably take this list, and I would take one other, but it would probably be like every other tournament I've completed in, and I wouldn't use the other one because it's my all-around favorite list to play.
What is your what would be your 7-pointers?
I don't know. I might bring the cavalry, but
Cavalry seems to be an idea for most 7 points.
It is. It's very strong. 7 points. It's very versatile, but I probably wouldn't use the cavalry either.
Now, to be honest, we've been talking for the last about 7 minutes, and the game is still going on. So what were you doing, Mitch? That you were just like, were you trolling?
A little bit.
Were you cheaty facing it?
No, I wasn't cheating facing. I was just doing stupid, funny things.
The trolls were trolling.
The trolls were trolling. All right, give us a lowdown. What were you trolling? What were you doing to just stall it out?
Well, right here, I sent the Mauler Carnathian because they're right there. I was thinking about just throwing it at the other Carnathian, maybe just for fun.
For funsies? For giggles?
Yeah. It doesn't happen this turn, but next turn, something funny really does happen. Right now, just on the axe, we're at the Carnathian hoping to Thresher a bit, but he's out of range of everything else. And I think he completely whiffed on hitting the Carnathian.
Yeah,
giant axe whiff.
Yeah. You whiffed on your first charge attack, which really hurt you because you would have gotten 3 dice to damage, but...
Yeah.
Man, it just wasn't your day. It just wasn't in the dice.
It was a bit dice in this part, but more I just made mistakes early on, which cost me.
I don't think it was dice on your part as much as...
It's more my fault.
Yeah.
Just
bad decisions.
Bad decision, and that just kind of steamrolled it into...
This is a game where just one mistake can cost you the whole game.
Right. Just like with a lot of miniature games, that way you put that one unit in the wrong place, and they can get that advantage. Or is it more so in this one?
More so in this one. In 40k, if you lose a guy, it's okay. You can recover.
Yeah, you lose a Basilisk Cannon, you can still recover.
Yeah.
You lose,
it's not like
a Land Raider, you can recover.
Yeah.
This, you lose one model.
If you lose, like...
The right model at the right time.
Like in 40k, if I lose Dirigo, I'm going to be fine. But this game, I lose Thagrosh, it's game over.
Yeah.
So it's like chess with miniatures.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to chess than 40k.
So what are you rolling here?
I think...
I think it's the Carnathian versus the Axer at this point.
No, I just killed a whelp with a swordman.
Oh.
That's what I did.
You just go for the epic squish?
Yeah.
Basically? Okay.
Yeah, I just killed a whelp.
You're just trying to sit on him.
Yeah.
So, alright, so you're just doing cleanup, literally.
Yep, now I'm just sweeping up the board, because I know I have the units to do it. And I think right now, or actually no, I killed the whelp with a warmonger, and now I activated the swordman. I'm just moving them over to contest the objective so he doesn't win with the mauler, or just get any points with the mauler. So
yeah.
No, in a tournament setting.
Yep.
If he had more points than you, and you kill his commander, his caster, could he still win?
No.
Caster kill wins you the game automatically.
Automatically wins you the game. Okay, it doesn't just end the game; it wins you.
It wins you the game, exactly.
Okay. So if he, for some reason, hand-to-dodged your caster,
I would have won.
You would have won.
He would have won.
Okay.
Completely unlikely.
I probably would have rage quit and
chucked your army across the room.
I probably would have thrown a couple models, but I would have gotten over it eventually.
Eventually, you would have gotten over it.
After I sold this army and bought another one.
All right. Well, we're coming down to the wire here. It's just looking like you're just funzing it right now.
This is the wind down of the game. I think I'm killing the Axer right now with the Carnathian.
Carnathian's nom-nom-nominant.
Yep.
Not even a question. It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. I know that he's going to be able to kill a few of the swordmen with the mauler, so right now I'm just, like you said, I'm cleaning up.
Yeah.
Although it looks like you're taking a lot of dice rolls to do it.
Yeah, I think I had a couple bad damage rolls, but I knew it was going to die before the end of the turn.
I'm just waiting to see what this funny haha is that Mitch decided to pull at the beginning.
It was such a stupid move.
Mitch, it was the dumbest.
Was it silly?
At this point,
it was silly.
At this point, it was just...
It doesn't matter. Yeah. You're just having fun, and that's what this is about, is having fun. I mean, yes, you like to win, and yes, you like to compete, but when it comes down to it, we play these games to have fun.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you're going to lose, at least go out with some style points.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that all the way, man.
Here, I could just scooped and left, because it was done turn 2. You both know it.
And there he goes. The Axer's gone.
Yeah.
And was that your last activation of on your turn, Badger?
I don't believe so. I think I had my caster left.
But really, what's he gonna do at this point?
Nothing. Really.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, he's out of
Nothing
charge
to
range.
do.
He's out of everything. I mean,
Exactly.
You've got models in the way, so you're gonna cast them.
I am in charge range of something.
I was talking about you. I know you are.
Yeah, Mitch is in charge range to hit something.
So Mitch, it's your turn.
Yep.
It looks like it's your turn.
Yep. So here I
So,
go.
you're holding out the troll hands. You're pointing.
I'm moving some stuff. Don't know if I start. Do I start out with it first, or do I activate them all?
I think you activate. No.
Yeah.
I can't remember how you act.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
I
it goes.
did it first.
All right. So what are you
Measuring
measuring?
control range right now. Just checking some distances. Just checking to make sure I can do it. Pretty sure I can.
You guys got to understand, Mitch is a very quiet man. So when it comes down to him checking stuff and he's not saying anything, you know he's doing something in that little hit of his.
Yeah. So here I move the Moses troll. Just going to contest because why not?
Yep. The Moses troll.
So Moses troll is sitting on a point.
No, he's not sitting on a point.
He's contesting.
He's contesting it.
I think he might be out of range, but so we're activating Doom Shaper right now. Putting in +3 strength on him from rage.
Hey, why? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. We see the hand movement.
Checking distances and charging with Doom Shaper. Charging Carnivian.
His caster charged the Carnivian.
Are you kidding me? I thought it was gonna be.
Something smart? What are you talking about here?
Oh. So how well did this go for you? Now remember, people, his caster has no head and no arms.
And then I miss.
And you missed. You missed, didn't
I
you?
didn't miss the first one. The next few ones always hit, but
Yeah, the next few hit, but
yeah,
it wasn't a good idea.
Still very silly.
Yeah.
Very silly.
I think I put like a few points of damage on Canadian.
Yeah, you did. It was dice minus like 5, but you did.
So
I think I got like 3 points of damage.
Yeah, I think you did
Maybe.
3 points.
all right, well, this is pretty much said and done. You know, pretty much game over. Did you guys have fun doing it? Like,
It was definitely fun.
Yeah.
it was a good matchup, good
Yeah.
fun time.
Yep, it was a fun time.
Now, Mitch, what would you like to play next time if you can?
Next time I'll hopefully use my E-Magic list because I think that would be a much better matchup for this scenario.
Okay. And what about you, Badger? What would you like to fight next?
Well, if he's going to use E-Magic, I'll probably use my Bethane list. Which is, it's an alpha striking magic list. Which is the polar opposite of the list I'm playing currently.
Alright, and the Steamroller event is next weekend.
Yep.
And it's going to be here at Dirigo Hobbies, and we're all going to be playing in it. And as long as I can get a little better at this game.
Yep.
We're also going to be doing this every week. So if you viewers want to see anything specific, you can always give a shout out. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, or comments or questions, you can always leave them below on the like and let us know. And these guys will get back to me or get back to you specifically and let us know the answers. And what are you showing him at this point? You're showing him a card, setting an ability.
What did I ask?
I think you're asking about snacking.
Oh yeah, I asked you if you had to force to snack.
Because right now the Mauler's just eating some swordsman.
I didn't.
Oh, the Maul is eating swordsman. Nom 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 nom.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Trolley face.
Yeah.
Gotta get above the trolley
face, Mitch.
I mean, if you're playing trolls, you kind of have to.
That's true.
Yeah, it's an inevitability that's gonna happen.
Now, Mitch, you still in the game?
No, I tried at the beginning and then I knew I was gonna lose, so I just went for weird things.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels sometimes like no matter how hard you tried, you always look at it back. And you're like, why did I do this?
Why did
right?
I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But hey, you know.
it all works in the end. It all works in the end.
Play fun, have fun.
Yeah, I played against both of you now, and I don't like playing against either one of your armies. But I mean, I'm also very new to this, so you know, I don't know. It just seemed like it was kind of a steamroll. It really did seem like completely one-sided, and it really isn't normally, obviously.
Depends on the game sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But I think I trolled him a little here at the end. Did my own trolling. Instead of going straight for the caster kill, I decided to just wipe his last remaining beast off the board.
So you rubbed it in a little.
I did. If I'm going to win, I'm going to board you. It's going to happen.
So what happened to Moses Troll? I think I still see him back there.
He's there for now.
I think he died before the end of the game. So.
Yeah, I think he took the swordsman to the face. And
I think he did take a swordman to the face.
That just sucks. That just sucks a lot.
But, you know, might as well finish it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no real problems in the match. Beyond, it was pretty straightforward. Play, cause, effect, finish, pretty much.
Yep.
Stupid mistake.
Dumb mistake.
Dumb mistakes on both sides, not just on
on both.
On both sides. I mean, the control arc thing, that is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't like
you don't want to make that mistake too many times.
No. Grand scheme of things, it's minor, but
I mean, you were already ahead on the board at that point too.
Yeah. It wasn't a big deal.
So,
yeah.
this is like a car crash in slow motion right here.
Yeah.
a little bit.
This is really
right now. The swordmen are eating the mauler.
I'm just watching the video timer tick down, going, "Oh my God, when will this horror story be over with?"
Not the epic first game, but hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know the first battle report has to go horrible. I mean, it just has to be the most voracious beatdown you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it definitely ends this turn, but I did prolong it a little bit.
Well, you know,
you got to do it.
Trolley face.
Yeah, trolley face.
We're gonna have to make a symbol for whoever's trolling at what point. It goes to different sides of the table.
Follow the face of the guy.
Yeah, I am starting troll mode. Entering troll mode now. And
just make
look at you, slowly dotting out the dots like you have a chance. Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Oh, he's still rolling dice, people.
The thing is still against the mauler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I knew it was definitely gonna die, but it's just cool.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
He goes down.
And there goes the mauler. Look, it's slowly moving the token. Alright, so we got.
No, I guess the stone bearer Moses troll didn't die. Well, actually, I think I sent a warm up. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the warm up.
There's 2 more activations before this game ends.
No, I saw you caster.
I know, 2 more activations.
Well, then you had the
warmongers and the caster.
And the Carnivian.
And the Carnivian.
And the Carnivian. Fair enough.
I mean, we only have about a minute and a half left in this video, and
oh, it took me that long.
Yeah, it took that long.
There's 2 models left to die.
2 models left to die.
It takes a minute and a half.
It takes a minute and a half to kill those 2.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Yeah, it is.
I think you're going for the caster right now. Death blow.
No. This is the Moses troll dying.
Yep. Tough.
Yep.
No.
He dies.
Yep, and he dies.
And then Berserk kicks off, and I go to hit a Warmonger with a Warmonger.
Alright, everybody. I hope you guys like this Battlecast. We're going to be doing them every week. Maybe next time.
More exciting.
Mitch won't decide to chuck his army to hell and back for no reason.
Nonsense. I will do that every game.
Badger was a good win, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe next time give him a chance.
Yeah, it could happen.
Let them come back for a little bit more, not make them feel like they just get completely stomped to the ground.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on the handshake at this point. Well, I mean, that's really, I keep trying to wind this cast down, but every time I look, you still get a few more seconds.
Any game with Badger is going to go till everything's dead.
Till everything's dead. He's just going to make you feel it.
Yep.
You're going to wake up in the morning.
Yep.
Oh, is it hit? Checking the numbers.
And he kills his own guy.
And he kills his own guy because of a charge. A ruling.
A ruling
that even I knew.
Yeah, it was a charge, but it had to be done.
It had to be done.
Needed the distance.
He needed the distance to make the cast. He eats it. And that's when we had Mothra show up.
Oh,
that thing was huge.
That moth was just
that
mongo.
It was a huge moth.
It was bigger than that measuring tape right in the corner.
It was. It really was.
Yeah.
It was massive.
It was Mothra.
It is Mothra. And here we go.
Yep, and this is the
And
last dice roll of the game.
I think you
I hit.
I think you completely one-shot exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I exact one-shotted him. 16 damage.
Did you get how many dice? 3 dice?
I got 3 dice, and it was dice plus 5 on damage.
Yep. And here we go.
Crunch.
Rolling for the tough.
Crunch.
Can I make it?
And I think you missed the crunch.
Tough roll. And
he reaches out for the handshake.
Nice,
There it is.
There it is.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right,
Hope
thanks,
you
guys.
enjoyed.